Captain, we are at Camp Mataamu. Grab the binoculars and take a look. What's your call?
Oh, I see a big color red on the sand. Red point and an American fly. They attract me.
Oh man, this new guy is great. He's probably my favourite character of the season. I bet he's a shoo-in for the win. Wait, what do you mean he isn't going to show up again? Survivor is a lot like a game of Dungeons and Dragons when you think about it. Bear with me, I promise this metaphor's going somewhere. You've got your bright-eyed and bushy-tailed adventurers ready to take on the quest for greatness. You've got the Dungeon Master who will do everything in his power to ensure the game is entertaining, at least from his point of view. You roll dice a bunch to determine if you live or die. Then you roll even more dice. And the DM gets really mad when you vote out his girlfriend, so it is everything in his power to ensure you don't get invited back for any more sessions, before getting obnoxiously freaky with her in a public setting. I've been cursed with knowing this image exists. Now you are too. An underappreciated part of any game is the NPCs, and Survivor is no different. They're not there to win, but the game would be a lot less fun if they weren't around. You've got your doctors, your set crew, your dream team, your purple Kellys, all that good stuff. So today we'll be going over some people who appeared on the show, not in the sort of capacity you'd usually expect. The first group of NPCs I want to discuss are the ones that have judged challenges. I won't mention all of them because what do you want me to say about the pilot and drop master from Survivor Borneo? Anything? Instead, let's start with Rupert.
Licensed contractor, expert in construction.
His job was simple. The castaways have made some shelters, and he has one question he wants answered. Which one is most likely to kill Jerry? You can tell we're in good hands because Rupert takes his job very seriously. Mogo is out here trying to rizz him up, trying to explain how good their kitchen is, and my man Rupert could not care less. He just immediately starts trying to break it. If your shelter isn't good, Rupert will destroy it. He has no mercy. He even busts out the level for some reason. And that's just on Mogo, who honestly had a pretty good shelter. When we get to Saboga, Rupert is not happy.
And I saw it in his face when we walked down into the hut. He didn't like down.
I thought about mentioning Jesse from Survivor Palau, but he's no Rupert. They couldn't even hire someone from Palau. They just got someone off the crew and went, yeah, you can judge it. Bring back Rupert, come on Jeff. Another reward challenge judge is the group of Fijian elders who judge the dance-off in Survivor Fiji. Wait, what? You're telling me Survivor can take place in Fiji and include elements of the culture to give the season and challenges a distinct feel and tone? That doesn't seem right. Where's the puzzle, Jeff? These judges show up, watch some dances and honestly seem like they're hating every second of it. They smiled precisely one time. Even the sick backflip didn't faze them. But they do continue the streak of just dunking on Ravu, so at the very least we know Jeff briefed them about that.
Whereas Ravu, the body movement was out of rhythm with the chant.
But Survivor NPCs aren't only reward judges, they can also be reward... That's the end of the sentence, they can also be rewards. Like in Survivor Vanuatu when Yasar wins Dar as a reward. Dar shows up and he just gets to work. He doesn't care about pleasantries. This man is here to survive and nothing else. He walks up a tree in a way I'm pretty sure would make Ozzy jealous. He finds root vegetables that no one else knew about. He gets some sugarcane. He cooks them a delicious meal. And then, just as quickly as he appears in our life, he leaves again, rowing his boat out into the distance. Gone, but not forgotten. You've also got the fishing family in Survivor China, which Fei Long wins an afternoon with. Honestly, my favorite part of this entire reward is that it facilitates us learning genre beer can speak Mandarin. I love when a character in media just randomly has a skill you would not expect, and in the most genre beer moment possible, he still manages to make this extremely useful ability into something that other castaways end up hating.
Fire.
It is very good that this family came to Fei Long, who won fishing gear a few episodes earlier. I imagine a lot of their advice would be completely lost on Jean Hu, because Jean Hu had precisely 0 fishing gear. But they did have a really cool fire pit. All these reward NPCs are pretty cool, but none could ever top Tata the Bushman from Survivor Caramoan. Dar may have been a survival expert, but Dar was no nonsense. Tata was all nonsense. He was out here to put on a show.
Really trying to get his bump and grind on with the girls with favorites tribe.
He tells them there's no vetsin in the jungle.
Here in the jungle, no bitching, huh?
The castaways think he says no bitching in the jungle.
No bitching in the jungle. I like that.
It turns out vetsin is just a term for MSG. Tata, you're telling me there's no monosodium glutamate in the jungle? I don't know if I'd lost on Survivor being cursed with that knowledge. There is actually one other survival expert reward you might not know about, Rupert, in Survivor Israel in like 2009. Shout out to this YouTube channel I was able to find the footage from. It does have Hebrew subtitles, but I guess we're just gonna have to deal with it. Rupert shows up to the reward challenge. He commentates on the reward.
Don't stop! I'm worth it! I'm worth it!
He promises this tribe good food. He completely fails to deliver on his promise because he can't catch any fish. He pouts about it, and then catches 2 fish and all is right in the world. Then he offers them some strategy advice, because when I think of Rupert, I think of a strategic mastermind. I have so many questions about what happened here. I genuinely cannot fathom the steps that must have occurred to make this happen. But Survivor NPCs don't always make one-off appearances and then disappear into the night, never to be seen again. Like Rupert. I miss him. Sometimes they come back, like the doctors in Survivor whose job it is to make sure the players don't die. A quite good idea on a show called Survivor. Like you've got Ramona Salines from the medical team who worked on the show up until 2014. She's from New Zealand, by the way. Some of her scenes include appearing when Gary needed to be evacuated, or maybe quit. Survivor Samoa when Russell passed out, and one world where Colton definitely quit. Yep. Can't you tell he's faking this? Sadly, Dr. Ramona left the show and was replaced by Dr. Joe, who is perfectly serviceable as well. He's there at the Caleb medevac, he's there at the Joe medevac. He couldn't really be bothered for the Neil medevac, fair enough. He's there for the Pat medevac, he even shows up when Lauren passes out at Edge of Extinction.
Dr. Joe, you're okay over there? Okay.
He also appears in a lot of the Life at Ponderosa videos, checking in on the castaways after they've been brutally betrayed at Tribal Council. He's not important to any story, but it's nice having that sort of consistent through line. I find great comfort in the fact that Dr. Joe exists. But the cool thing about Survivor NPCs is that at some point they may no longer be NPCs. Katie Collins from Blood vs. Water, known for having the thickest glasses in existence and getting brutally destroyed by Tyson for basically no reason on her way out.
That's your chair over there, one of those.
You may be more familiar with her as one of Tina's family members who she got to call with in the Australian outback. Isn't it insane how there is a 13-year time gap between these two moments? I'm surprised Survivor didn't mention this at all. You've also got Vetus you can spot in the Survivor Panama reunion show before he makes it onto our screen proper, and Laura, Rupert's wife who appeared at 2 separate Loved Ones challenges before coming out onto the show. And I'm positive that at some point in the future one of Boston Rob's daughters will get upgraded from Survivor NPC to full-time player. You've also got a handful of castaways who started out as important and got downgraded. Dale from San Juan del Sur, the man who outlasted his daughter. No, he's just a loved one now. Same with Val, the absolute legend who managed to find 2 idols in the span of a single day, all while John Wetland had a 3rd idol in his pocket, was sadly downgraded to NPC on 2 separate occasions. It would simply be unfair if we let her play again. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the funniest Survivor NPC downgrade, John Cochran in Game Changers. He was on a boat, there to give advice. We sure got to look at him. Man, isn't it wild how Debbie isn't even in the top 5 funniest people that could have been sent to visit Cochran? I want to see him and Ozzy interact here. Or him and Sandra. There's one last group of NPCs I want to shed some light on, and it's the Dream Team. These are the people that not only test the challenges to make sure they're safe, but they also allow us to have some of the most beautiful shots in the show's existence. This shot of Ozzy running through the water? That's a recreation. This close-up of Rachel pocketing the rice? That's a recreation. They didn't even try to get the color right. Basically, any aerial shot at any challenge is a Dream Team recreation, otherwise you'd have a bunch of equipment in the way. This is the 3rd piece of knowledge that feels a bit cursed to know, but I'm grateful it makes the show a bit better. So that was a rundown of some of my favourite Survivor NPCs. What do you think? I know I missed some, so who's your favourite Survivor NPC? Let me know. Until next time, I've been Henry Hickman Survivor, and I'll see you judging some construction with Rupert the GOAT.